Hello, team. Welcome to another weekly sales meeting. I hope everybody's having a great start to the week. We're going to get kicked off and talk a little bit about last week. We were in Palm Beach for our Elevate to Dominate event. It was a really, really great event, and we had three kind of key takeaways over the course of the event. Number one is good is the enemy of great. We had a lot of loan originators from big retail lenders visit with us, and they all kind of said the same thing. Is like, hey, listen, I have real estate agents that I've been working with for years that are now working with a UMortgage loan originator because we got complacent, because our pricing wasn't aggressive enough. And while that was good enough last year and that was good enough 2 years ago, it's not good enough now. Why isn't it good enough now? It's because right now consumers are driving behavior. A consumer right now, 0.5% difference in rate equals affordability. That's the difference between them buying a house right now and them not buying a house because the inventory isn't allowing for it. Meaning, the $50,000 less in purchase price might put them in a position where they're looking at homes that they don't want to buy. So that was one really big common theme that we heard from a lot of people. And the other thing is it's no longer good enough just to have fast closings. That might have been good enough 2 years ago, but now the gap has closed. Everybody's got fast closings in a market like this. Everybody's turning loans around quickly. So these competitive advantages that might have existed 2 to 3 years ago are no longer advantages. And not only are they no longer advantages, but they've become competitive disadvantages when you're in a situation where your price is out of whack, your PMI is out of whack, your cost is out of whack. It's creating an environment where their real estate agents are looking for other options. So that was one really big theme last week. It was great to hear that more and more loan officers are looking at our platform, and also to connect with a lot of real estate agents who were just finding out about the fact that you could work with an independent loan originator and achieve more affordability for their buyers. So that was one key takeaway. The next one was there is no silver bullet. You have to outwork everybody in this market. There's no hiding from it. There's no way to get around it. The only way to be consistent, the only way to win in this market or deliver consistent outcomes, I should say, is to be in a situation where you're doing the work every single day. That was the big common theme that we kept hearing from people. It's like, hey, listen, in order to win in this market, you got to do twice the amount of work that you did last year and make half as much. But this is a long-term play. This is a customer acquisition play. We know that in an environment where rates are in the 6s or even 7s, that when rates turn around, when the market turns around, we're looking at being able to refinance people every 0.75% on the way down. If they start at 7, you're gonna be able to refi them at no cost at 6.25, then again at 5.5, then again at 4.5. Like, that's the opportunity. Now, every single time you refinance a client, you're going to get referrals from their friends and you're going to get referrals to their friends and family. So you got to take the long-term approach right now in this market. Is you got to gut it out, be in a situation where you're winning and competing for every deal. That's going to help you keep your relationship with your real estate agents. But more than anything, it's the 2024, 2025 referrals that are going to matter. So outworking everybody is about doing the activities, doing the events. Our event last week, we had over 150 people in attendance. Talked to a lot of our loan originators. They brought a lot of their real estate partners and colleagues as well. But we also talked to a lot of loan officers in that local market that are not with UMortgage. And it was really clear to see that the loan officers that are getting after it, the loan officers that have put their ego away, are doing the open houses, are going to the events, doing the networking and doing what they need to do on a daily basis, making the calls and dealing with the resistance, dealing with the number of people that have already started working with another LO. This is where you can see outworking everybody and doing it consistently is key. Now, the one major thing that really got at me when I had one-on-one conversations with people, I asked them, like, how do they structure their day? How are they winning right now in this market? How are they putting themselves in a position to win? And mastering your day is really, really everything. It is easy to not work hard in this environment if you don't have a structure and you don't have a plan. So, a couple things I wanted to highlight to everybody is, number one is having a plan. If you need accountability, create accountability by scheduling accountability in your day. Now, what does that mean? This is one thing that I've always told loan officers to do, especially loan officers with full autonomy over their day, is schedule key appointments throughout your day. I always put a really important meeting on my schedule between 7 and 9 a.m. Now, that you don't have to follow that script. You could do 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. but schedule a morning appointment with a realtor partner. Schedule an in-person appointment with somebody where you got to get dressed for the day. You have to be on point. It's an accountability situation where you know you have that appointment. It's an appointment you can't cancel, and you're going to dress up and make sure you're ready to work. Now schedule another one middle of the day and schedule another one at the end of the day. You put yourself in a position where you're creating accountability partners without anybody even knowing about it. But by structuring your day around those 3 appointments, your likelihood of filling in the gaps, meaning, hey, listen, I got an appointment with a real estate agent from 9 to 10, but not another one until 1 to 2, you're going to fill in those couple hours. You're not going to just, go golfing or take the day off. You're going to know that, hey, listen, I got another appointment up. I'm going to start making calls, or I'm going to do some outreach, or I'm going to go to a networking event. You're more likely to be in a position where you're going to stay busy and keep the momentum going. So scheduling accountability in your day is super critical to maintaining a successful day and mastering your day. A couple other things I'd point out there is make sure you plan for the chaos. Make sure you plan for the reactive things. Like if you're ever in a situation where it's like, hey, listen, I got a last day of the month, I got 3 closings, like something could come up. I could get a call from closing. Something could come up last minute. Like make sure you're scheduling for it. Hey, my closing's at 10 a.m. I'm going to block off that hour if I can. If I'm not actually at the closing, I'm going to block it off so I'm available to take that call and I'm not in the middle of a meeting or an appointment that, I would be taken away from. So be thoughtful, be intentional, make sure you're planning ahead of time. But always plan. That's the one critical thing I would put in everybody's ear is make sure you plan your day. It's the only way to master your day. It's the only way to drive consistent and predictable outcomes by planning your day, scheduling accountability, and setting yourself up for success. I'm going to hand it off to Kyle Koller, and I'll be right back.
Hey guys, thanks again for having me on the weekly sales meeting. I'm really excited to talk to you about open houses because it's open house season. So real quick, I'm going to jump into what I do at my open houses. First and foremost, when you're at an open house, regardless if you're with the agent that you work with or you're going to just walk into a random open house, you want to have something of value for those agents. So what I like to do is I like to make sure that I'm going to have specific payments that are pertaining to that house. For example, on a $300,000 house in Utah, it's going to have a little bit different table scenarios than an $800,000 house or a $1.5 million house in Utah. I want to make sure I have the right material for that property. I also want to make sure they have the exact payment on that property if they were to do financing or call me that day. So if they're going to put 5% down on that $300,000 house, I want to make sure I have the property taxes for that house. I want to make sure I have the right MI or the right program in this for them. So when I talk to them, I say, hey, do you want to know the exact payment on this house? Here you go, sir. And know your market. So on a $300,000 house, I know a lot of people are going to want to either 3% down, 5% down, or investors. So when I went last week, I went and I had a 3% down option, a 5% down option, and then a 25% down option. And guess what? Most of the people, those were the 3 options because I knew my market that I was in. So I want to provide value. I want to make sure that I at least have this for every real estate agent that I do work with on a weekly basis. If I work with them every single day or on a weekly basis and they have an open house, you better dang well make sure that you're there. But you want to make sure that, you have the right equipment as far as, I'm going to have either my iPad ready or I'm going to have printed flyers ready. And I'm going to make sure that I've done my homework on this property. So that when people talk to me and they understand, hey, I already have a loan officer. A lot of times people would say, hey, look, I already got pre-approved with the bank. But I say, hey, no worries. I want you to have this just so you can see what the exact payment is on this house so you don't have to wait because they're probably not working today. And you can call me later. I do roughly, save people $3,000 to $5,000. That's essentially what I tell the banks and I tell the people that are using the banks. And it helps people give me calls. It gets me deals. I got one deal through the door from a firefighter. So he was a firefighter from Chicago. I mentioned that we have a branch out in Chicago, and I was able to get on the same page with him, and he felt comfortable, and I was able to show him my table, what the payment would look on this house. And I said, hey, just use me for a second look. Call your credit union, see what they can do for you. But if you want to call me for a second look, and I was able to save him roughly $7,000. So it was a really good situation for me and him. And I'm grateful that I was ready on the spot for this open house. So look at the open house areas that are within your area. Make sure you do your homework and make sure you have this value for people. That's my call to action for you is if you don't know how to make this, I have a template on Workplace. Our marketing team does a good job as far as having everything they have as far as different scenario payments for you. I actually use a screenshot from Arrive because it's easy to put it in Arrive and then I can put it on my flyer. So that's my call to action is have it ready. Be ready for open houses. They're a great way to get business. I promise you, if you guys only worked on Saturdays and went to open houses, you're going to pick up deals. So have that enthusiasm that you want to help the real estate agent make their life easier, be there. Sometimes, people do provide donuts. I like to provide numbers. I'm a human calculator for people. So that's my call to action. Also, lastly, I want to preference to you guys. Once you have these loans in process, you're working your butts off, you're doing a good job, you want to earn that business from that real estate agent and prove that you have the best process and you're the best loan officer in the world, please make sure you have a good file for operations team. If you have all the contacts in there, you have all the documents, scrub your file, have the best loan narrative, prove to me that you're a better loan officer. I want to see your files. Send me your files. Hey, Kyle, take a look at this loan number. I'd love to look at it and give you a grade, because if you can come in with A+ grades on your files and you're showing that these agents, that you're the best loan officer in the world, you come in these open houses, you have the value you provide for them, and then when they give you a shot, make sure you lay out the red carpet, and you're going to crush it from every time by having good files. So I just wanted to preface that. I appreciate you guys. You guys keep crushing this market. We're the leaders in this market. This market is amazing for us because we provide value to our real estate agents. Appreciate you guys. Have a great one.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is LeFore. I am with the Mortgage List team here, powered by UMortgage. I am located out of San Diego, California. I've been doing mortgages for almost 20 years, actually this year. And one of the biggest things that I've actually utilized a lot is agent classes, which is how I've actually been able to stay top of mind to real estate agents on a literally weekly basis. I have actually come to realize that me teaching classes is my way of not having to always beg for business on a regular basis, because I'm constantly teaching more and more educational classes. The Mortgage Marketing Institute has actually helped me in quite a bit. I've actually been using their program for almost 8 years. I use the majority of their classes as well. Still, I've been kind of creating my own as well. We've got a lot of social media classes that we teach. And for myself and my team, I actually teach 3 classes a month, on the first, second, and the third Wednesday of every single month. And because of that, it always gives me a reason to be able to reach back out, text message, check them out on their social media, or have them in part of my VIP Facebook group as well, which is another way of being able to stay top of mind as well. All kind of connected to the same aspect of giving more education, more value, versus always being that lender standing there with their hand out with nothing to give them back. With me, with my classes, I've been able to teach them mortgage ready type of classes. So first Wednesday of every month, we teach mortgage and real estate classes. Second and third Wednesday of every month, we actually teach social media classes and things that are business oriented to get them better. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube classes, all of part of the repertoire when it comes to the classes. And we actually set them up for the next 3 months. So we have a quarter of classes 3 times a month scheduled out. So literally 12 months. 12 classes are scheduled out at any given period of time. And because of that, people will constantly go back to the one link to be able to schedule that information, or to be able to schedule themselves to be able to make one of our next classes. I think the coolest part about this, though, is that because agents do actually see my classes on the regular, whether it's me talking about it on the stories, or me posting about it on Facebook, or putting it into my feed when it comes to different reels, it feels like for them, it more feels like they're obligated per se to like attend my class because they've attended them in the past. So when I reach back out, they're already like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Liz, I didn't make that class, but I really want to be able to see it. Can you send me the replay?" So it's literally the next conversation, the next follow up that they're doing all by themselves. So that way I can reach back out. I have actually noticed that this has made my business so much easier, because I don't have to just stand there. And when I teach my classes, I tell agents that if you're looking for a lender, always want a lender that is more of a partner, not just a vendor, not just that lender that's standing there with their hand out asking for that next client. Go to the lender that's going to give you something back, give you that value, teach you something, educate you on something, make you better for tomorrow. And I always say, at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be me, but it's just got to be anybody else that's going to be better than just the person that's standing there with their hand out. At the end of the day, these classes have definitely changed my business in the last 20 years, and in the last 8 for sure that I've been doing these classes. It just really helps me out on a regular basis. If you guys are looking forward to more of this type of information, we're going to be doing a class here on this coming week on Monday, where we'll be talking more about this. And then Jeff Zimfer, which is the owner of the program, will be on there along with me and Glenda. So hope to see you guys there. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'd love to be able to help you. Have a great day, guys.
Hi, I'm Sunnie Baltes with UMortgage in Southern California, and today I'm going to be talking about realtor relationships, so putting the real in relationship. How do we build solid relationships with our realtor partners? I basically like to be authentic with my real estate partners. I want to know who my ideal client is first of all, so that I can go after realtors who share the same balance of who their clients are. So for example, if I know my ideal clients are firefighters, first responders, police officers, teachers, I want to look for realtor partners that share common interests, right? Because if I go after a realtor, for example, they have high net worth, high income earner jumbo loans, and that's, who they go after. And I work with first time buyers, like we may not be a good fit for each other to help each other grow our businesses, right? We do offer jumbo product offerings, but maybe that's not my best fit. So you do want to make sure that you share a common interest. Also, you want to flip the switch, right? It's not, hey, oh man, I have a scarcity mindset. I don't know if they're going to want to work with me. No, do you want to work with them? So that's why you find out who your ideal client is first, and then go after realtors who you guys share those same ideal clients. When you set up a meeting, you basically want to ask TED, T-E-D. So you want to ask a realtor, tell me about yourself, tell me about your interests. What do you do? Explain to me any pain points in your business, right? E, describe. D, describe to me what your ideal client looks like, right? And so then you shut up and you listen, and they give you a blueprint for exactly what they want, exactly what their needs are, exactly what their pain points are, exactly what they're looking for in a mortgage broker, perhaps. That's your blueprint for how to win with them. How do I provide value to my real estate partners? So if they have a listing, for example, I work in a second home investment property market. Well, we have DSCR loans available. We have USDA loans available for our rural mountain communities that I work with. So if I'm working, with a realtor, I'll provide that for their open houses. I'll provide information on those loan types. If I'm not working with those realtors and they have a listing, well, that's a reason to give them a call. Pick up the phone. Hey, did you know we have an investment property loan for a DSCR loan? No income. We just go off of the property, net income on it. So we have that. We have USDA, like I said. So those are talking points that can get you in front of realtors. We get better every day here at UMortgage, right? So we want to train our realtor partners. I have a Facebook group, for example, that we do teachings in. So we teach them how to build their Facebook. We teach them how to create their Instagram profile. We teach them how to do Instagram reels. We post market updates so they know what's going on in the market. And we educate them so that they then can educate their clients. We do not like doom and gloom. We want to be the light. We want to be magnetic. We want them drawn to us so they're coming to us for information. And if you're positive, positivity is contagious and it goes a long way with realtor partners. So I do a monthly agent happy hour. I like to break bread with my agents, and we like to make sure that, we're good fits for each other. So what better way to learn about them over cocktails, over a soda water? It doesn't have to be alcohol, but just getting together, breaking bread, and learning about each other further than outside of the business world. It works wonders. So try that. I meet with real estate teams. So there's listing agents, buyer's agents, transaction coordinators. There's so much value that you can learn by meeting with a real estate team. And you learn, like I said, what their pain points are. You're going to learn what contingency periods their buyers buyer's agents are writing into the contracts. In Southern California, we're so competitive. They want 15-day escrows, 8-day loans, 5-day appraisal contingencies. So you learn all of that by meeting with these teams. So instead of meeting with one realtor, try and meet with a real estate team and provide that value. And you can learn so much about their team. Like I said, perhaps they have new hires even that come into their team. Well, then you can meet with them and perhaps, be the first lender that they meet with, be the first lender that they talk to. And, as mortgage brokers, we have such an array of products available. So, bring that into the team meeting and talk about that and see how you can solve their team's problems. So call to action today. Go jump into a real estate meeting, break bread with some realtors, follow TED, tell, explain, describe, zip it, listen, and find out that exact blueprint for what makes those realtors tick. And I promise you that those relationships will go up. Have a wonderful day.
What is going on, everybody? Mike Alberico, co-branch manager with UMortgage here in wonderful Raleigh, North Carolina. I was invited on today to talk about finding balance. we are starting to see the spring market pick back up in our area. Yes, rates are going up. It is what it is. Like I always say, control what you can control. And so finding balance during the day is very important. To one, you have to follow up with people that are pre-approved, because there's lots of buyers out there that need hand holding right now because rates are volatile, inventory's down, and they need an expert. So be a good team member with you and your realtor partner to get them to the finish line. Other thing I like to find balance in is staying top of mind and in front of existing referral partners. You have to make sure that there's not something they need all the time. Also, there's going to be hundreds of loan officers calling on your producing realtors. So stay top of mind, offer help. What do you need? I try and reach out a few times a week. I even try and go to some of their weekly team meetings if I'm invited to bring up different topics. One thing that we do have going for us is we have a wonderful loan officer assistant, shout out to Cindy Gonzalez, who helps take small tasks off me and my branch partner and our loan officer's day. So I always look at it as, if you can save 15 minutes 5 or 6 times a day, what can you do with that hour and a half that you gained? And that's what we try and do, is delegate as much as possible. She's licensed. She calls and follows up docs. We always make our clients aware that we do have a loan partner with us, and it just helps free up your day. I know a lot of people are hesitant right now on getting salaried individuals in this market. I was as well. My partner and I, Michael Wolf, talked about it for a while, and you just have to buckle down and make the investment. We are actually splitting it with another branch. So I encourage all of our LOs to have conversations with other leaders and LOs at the company. There's always a solution. Focus on your income generating activities. It's old school, but go through your list of daily tasks and figure out what is a good hourly rate you want to assign to those tasks. And if it's not the hourly rate that you have set for your goals, then that is something that should be delegated. And that is all part about finding balance, because the prime job is to get out there, stay in front of our clients, educate realtors, and generate new business. Another question I was asked about is, how do I gauge between a productive day and a busy day? Productive day is turning out pre-approvals, taking client calls, putting them at ease, maybe submitting some TBD income scenarios to our wonderful underwriting scenarios desk, or having a full loan submission to one of our lenders that does TBDs. That's a productive day. You can always stay busy, but what are you doing to stay busy? Is it just entering stuff into HomeBot or Home IQ? Yes, that's important, but that's more busy work that should be delegated rather than having a productive day. And how often do I evaluate my daily tasks and activities? Every day, multiple times a day. I'm a little old school. I use my email as my checklist. I will email myself if I'm dropping kids off at school, or if I'm on the phone and a task comes up, then I flag it. There's certain tasks that you can knock out quickly. And then there's some that take a little bit more time, and you actually have to prioritize those. We all have fire drills on files, maybe appraisal came in with a repair. So it's all about prioritizing your day. But I go through my task list, honestly, probably about every 15 minutes. And if a new task comes in that I can delegate, I do delegate that. Part of my overall daily work is I also do not punt things to the next day that can be done. I try and stay focused on my family. I have 3 kids. I log off at a certain time, have family time. And if there's something more pressing, I also hop back on in that evening. Part of that, of staying busy and productive, is also setting expectations with your clients. I might say, hey, I can run quotes for you, even if it can be 8 o'clock tonight or tomorrow morning. Set the proper expectations. Don't say, I'll get them over to you right away, and then they have to wait till the next day. That is always important when setting tone with anybody involved with the transaction. And I am constantly learning from other people here at UMortgage. I've been here over a year now. When I came on, it was a very small group, and now we're growing with lots and lots of producers that you can learn from. So my call to action for our UMortgage folks, try and get on as many daily sales huddles as you can. I'm 10 years into the business, and I still learn something every day that I can get on the daily sales huddle. Yes, they're optional. I try and make it, Can I make all of them? Absolutely not. That's impossible for anybody to make every one of them, but they're recorded. Or you listen to a podcast in the car, or you listen to sports talk radio. I'm guilty of that. Change it up. Go back and watch one of the daily sales huddles. I guarantee you'll get something for it.
Great sales meeting. Awesome call to actions there from Mike Alberico. Really hitting the nail right on the head on what you need to do or what we can be doing to control the controllables. So thank you, Mike. Going to hit on the last couple things here before we wrap up. Number one is on June 12th, we'll be hosting another partner event. This is for real estate agents, referral partners, every business professional in our community that we are either already working with or building a relationship with. So this is going to be the Overcoming Procrastination virtual event featuring Renee Rodriguez. It's from 9 a.m. Eastern time to 12 p.m. Eastern time. And again, this is an offering that we're investing in for the purpose of us inviting our partners to. Now, we don't want to go out on social media and just promote it. Hey, here's this free webinar. This is not free. It was an event that we are investing in. Again, we're hosting this in partnership for the purpose of us extending it to our partners. Now, think about where we're at in the year. We were talking about June 12th. It's a couple weeks from now, coming up on the midway point of the year. It's important to shake some trees. It's important to get those agents who might not have a team around them or might have a leader helping get them through this market to come back into play, show them what they need to be doing to overcome their own individual challenges, to master their day, to overcome procrastination, and to win in this market. So it's a great partnership offering. It's something you do together. Host in your office, do a watch party, but get people together for the purpose of us getting better together as a team. So you're going to see the promotional assets from our marketing team here this week. Look out for it. Great event. Please do your best to share and encourage your partners to join us on June 12th at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Last thing is it's last day of the month here. We're wrapping up what will be a new record month by a significant margin. So congratulations, everybody. Awesome job. It's a tough market, but we're doing what we have to do to be tougher. And at the end of the day, it's important to understand, while we're doing good, we're focused on getting better. There's a lot of things that we're working on behind the scenes that we're going to be implementing here over the next 30 to 60 days when it comes to process improvement, communication improvement, really making sure we're getting better as a team, but we're enhancing our experience at every single opportunity we can, from loan setup to processing to closing, you name it. Believe me when I tell you, we have our ear to the street. We've listened to everybody's feedback. We get it every single day. We look at Report Up, we look at MPS, but we have our advisory council. We're getting the feedback from every piece of our business, and we're focused on making sure we're doing what we can do to enhance and improve the process here over the next 30 to 60 days. So, record month, great job. It's great to win. It's great to be in a market that everybody else is struggling in. We're growing into a shrinking market. But at the end of the day, this is not the goal. This wasn't when we started, back in January, we didn't say, hey, listen, the goal is to get to 600 loans or 650 loans and 250 billion. That wasn't the goal. We've got bigger plans. We've got bigger goals. We got a bigger vision, and we're going to continue to focus on do what we can do, which is get better every day, create a great experience for our clients, and make sure we're making the best contribution to our communities and to our relationships. So have a great rest of the day, and talk to you guys soon.